Hey guys, Tom Young here. I am a senior director with Stream, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about what just happened to me with somebody that I know regarding the 4-year career book. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was at a networking event, and I was a speaker, and I mentioned this book. I mentioned what it's done for me and the principles that I've used, but I never mentioned Stream. I never mentioned network marketing. I didn't mention any of that. I just mentioned, I referenced the book. And I had a friend of mine who's a lawyer, a young lawyer, probably late 20s, and he came up to me afterwards and he said, "What's the book?" Now, I actually didn't happen to have a copy of the book with me. And I said, it's pretty cool. I said, what it's done, this and that. And again, I never mentioned Stream. I never mentioned network marketing. So we had a short conversation, and that was it. Well, I emailed him, and I said, hey, when I come back to the meeting next week, do you want me to bring a copy of the book? He said, okay. So I saw him this morning at our networking event, and I brought the book, and I showed it to him. I said, hey, here's the book I was talking about. I said, you want to borrow it? And he goes, yeah. He goes, sure. He goes, you're making me think it's like a gimmick, or there's a catch, or there's something, or it's a he goes, what do you call it? One of those, one of those pyramid things. And I said, what do you mean by pyramid? He goes, where you got to like recruit people and do all that stuff, And this guy is a lawyer. He's a smart guy. So I wasn't about to get into all of that with him, because there were actually 65 other people there this morning at the event. So we talked for a couple minutes, and I started to understand that this was just not something for him with his kind of negative attitude. And in the very beginning, I would have said, here, take the book, read it, and, and I'll call you and I'll follow up, and, and this and that, and I hope you join my team, and this and that. And, after about a year, which was almost 3 years ago, I realized I don't do that anymore. I don't beg people to look at stuff. I don't push them, because I figure if I gotta beg and plead to get them to get started with our team, I'm going to have to beg and plead to get them to do something. So I stopped doing that about 3 years ago. So after I realized that he was going down the road of negativity and one of those things and everything, I looked at him right in the eyes, and I patted him on the back twice, and I said, don't worry about it. This is not for you. I said, have a good day. And I turned around and I walked away, and I walked up to another friend of mine that was about 20 feet away and started talking to him. So what I did was I took it away from him. Okay. Many times when you take something away from somebody, they will want, they'll want you to come back. They'll want to know more. It's like, well, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe I should look at this or whatnot. But he didn't do that, which is fine. So maybe in his head this morning on his way driving into his office, he'll think, maybe I should have listened to Tom, or maybe I should have taken the book and at least read it. It's not a thick book. It's a thin book. I read this myself when I first got it in 2 nights. So I have about 5 copies of these right now that I have out on rotation. Right now I have 2 copies lent out to 2 friends of mine. I showed them the business presentation video in a one-on-one first, and then I said, here's the book that I was talking about. And I say, our network meeting is every Wednesday morning, so I said bring it back next week on Wednesday and whatnot. So I do use this as a tool. But I just wanted to, the point of this video is, don't beg and plead to have somebody join your team. If you find that they're just going down the road of negativity, that's not something that you want to be around. What I've done is I've planted, something in his brain that he'll think about over the next couple of days. And he's a lawyer, so he understands a lot about this stuff. Very, college educated gentleman. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe next week, in next week's meeting, he might come up to me and say, you know what? I'd like to borrow that book. I'd like to read it. So I always keep a couple copies with me in my car and whatnot. So you never know. You'll see what happens. But, you know, again, don't beg and plead people to get involved with your team. If they don't have the vision that you do, that's fine. There's plenty of people out there in the world that you can find your vision, you know, their vision meets yours. So that's about it for this morning. It's been a while since I've done a video, but this is just something that struck me, that I know that in the very beginning when I got started with Stream, that this, you know, that was something that it was a problem for me, and I believe that's why I got a very rocky start in my first full year of being with Stream. So any questions or anything, or you know, anything else, you can always email me at tyoungbgof@gmail.com, or give me a call, shoot me a text, 484-951-1049. You don't have to be on my team for me to help you or whatnot. So again, my name is Tom Young. I'm a senior director with Stream, and I will talk to you again in my next video. Have a good one, guys.